So, pretty much, this is going to be a journal entry. This is going to be journal entry number 1. And starting off as ground zero, so it's really easy to kind of do it from here. I don't even care. I don't care about the quality of the video, what really, I don't care too much about the structure of the content. It's really about just being able to track the progression and be able to hold myself accountable in some way of how things are going, be able to also reflect, because I find not often enough am I reflecting on maybe some of the good parts that have happened in the week past. It's always about what can I do to improve, and although that's great that to always focus on the improvement part, there are good parts also to be happy about, to take pride in, and to be able to recognize, because you do it for the good parts. You do it to experience more of those and have those moments over and over again, or a improved recreation of those moments, or maybe moments like those where there's emotions and feelings that are very similar to the ones you experienced from past good events. And so this is both a reflection and a introspection, and just being able to look at what happened in the week past, and then be able to project what's going to happen in the coming week. And this I'm going to be doing it's on a Saturday, so kind of trying to get ahead in terms of, okay, let's start this now and let's keep it trending as a thing to move forward with. And it is going to be something that I put out there. I don't want to think too much into it. It's more so just hey, do it. No one's gonna probably see it, which is good, but I want to be able to come back and look at it. And I guess the reason I'm even putting it out is because it holds me a little bit more accountable in case I'm saying something and somebody else sees it. So hold me accountable too. But for this week, what day is it? See, that's what I need to get right. I need to be able to really focus in on the time that we're in. Today is Saturday. Recognize what day it is. Recognize it's not always about the time, date, but it's just being attentive to where you're at in time, and what day of the week it is, and being able to really be appreciative for each day and its uniqueness. So Saturday, October 12th, and just to reflect on the week past. Like I said, ground zero, so this is a good place to kind of start out. I know I shouldn't be excited about that, but it's okay, cool, ground zero, go for it. So week past really has been about me being curious more about the service and hospitality world, and really diving into how to be a better server, because at this moment in time I'm working as a server, which I never thought I'd say, and not because it was something I thought that was below me, or maybe that my skills weren't equipped for it. It was more so being a server seems kind of nerve-wracking in a way, and there just seems better ways to make money. And so I never thought I would enter into this occupation, but now it's become something that I actually really enjoy, and it brings me just excitement, and it brings feelings of pressure and of nervousness. But there are points in time where you're actually really excited to be in that moment and doing what you're doing. And so just learning how to progress. If I'm going to be spending the time doing this, I might as well be good at it, and I might as well improve my skills. Not that I see it going further than where I'm at right now in terms of, oh, I want to be captain, or oh, I want to be X, Y, and Z, I want to be maitre d'. It's really right now, the whole reason I got into serving was because I wanted to learn about food service and hospitality and understanding what it is that goes into what, like, the different roles. So everything from the line cooks, the chefs, like I still have so much to learn about what happens in the back of the kitchen, even though I've been there for probably, I've only really been there a handful of times now, but definitely already have a better understanding of all the intricacies that go into just providing like hors d'oeuvres and canapes and to doing the dinner service and how the table setting is. So there's still so much to learn, and really what I'm going to focus in on is both becoming better at my job and what I do, just being able to gain more respect from the people that I'm working around. So that'll be something that gives me the ability to have more of these conversations and feel confident in picking people's brains and being like, okay, I'm here, I'm meant to be here, and I'm good at what I do. So people will respect me and give me the time of day to answer the questions that I have. And a lot of the questions that I have right now revolve around the fine dining experience and being able to really provide a level of service and being able to be regarded as a great, I want to know what why a restaurant or why a company or business is regarded as top tier for their hospitality, or for why are they like given high regard for the food and dining experience that they provide. Basically, I was really having a challenging time explaining that, but that's what it is. Like, why one Michelin star for what? What does this mean? What is it that these restaurants have and that they are given recognition for? So really trying to understanding that more and how to honestly create that experience, maybe either in a restaurant setting or in a pop-up setting, and doing this in a more controlled environment, but in a moving way, like a pop-up, or just being able to not create something so finite, but just being able to like know how to recreate these experiences that exists in these specific restaurants. And so I'm still trying to understand that and get a better footing in this food and hospitality industry, and that will obviously take time. So getting more into that. This week, I just came off a 30-mile week. Right now I'm at 22 miles. Saturday, I didn't go for a run today, but tomorrow I'm going to go for a run. But then next week, because I need to complete a 40-mile week, so next week is going to be the 40-mile week. And I need to set goals for what days I'm going to do runs on and how long those runs will be. I'm guessing I'll do like 3 8-mile runs. So you're at 24, and then maybe a 14, puts me at 38, and then a 2, just a recovery day. That's like 5 days. So 2 days off, not bad, not terrible. Even maybe splitting, not doing a 14 and not doing an 8, but maybe mixing a 6 and a 4 day in there. We'll see. But yeah, so, another few miles tomorrow, but then really hitting it hard the following week and getting that full 40-mile weekend. And one thing I've really kind of, struggled with, but then I looked at the bright side. I was like, I always do that. It's always in my mind, like I jump ahead in stories, but basically, I've been waking up like really late. So I've been waking up around like 9:30, almost 10 a.m. and not getting to my work until around 11 or even 12 sometimes, like 12 p.m., like afternoon time. So really trying to focus in on waking up earlier. I would ideally like to wake up every morning at 6:30 a.m. Like be out of bed by 6:38 a.m. Like you have that 8 minutes to like be like, do I really want to get up? Okay, I have to get up, and just like the struggle of having to get out of bed and like roll out, like give myself 8 minutes, 6:30, 6:38. What's wrong with 8 minutes to roll out of bed? But that's the goal, and we're far off from that. Something I might need to do is inch up to that, but then, okay, to go back to one point is like, I need to be happy that I've gotten this much sleep, because I have people, my friends are like, yo, like I just can't sleep. Like there's people that have trouble sleeping, so I need to look at the bright side and be like, okay, I've gotten too much sleep, so this is good. This is a good thing. But really also understanding that I need to set a schedule for myself and be like, I need to go to bed at a specific time and not stay up late and fall into these patterns or into distractions that keep me from getting a good amount of sleep, because there's nothing good happening after, a certain period of time. Like I might just be scrolling on my phone, or I might just be watching videos and doing whatever, and it's not really providing any progression to what I'm trying to achieve. So definitely being able to get to bed by 11:50 p.m. and then waking up around 6:30 and just getting after it and doing what I need to do. So that just brings me to the point, I need to have something in the morning that makes me want to get out of bed, whether that be coffee, whether that be journaling, whatever it is, whatever would be an incentive for me to wake up and get out of bed and be like, I get to do this. This is what I want to start my day by doing. So having that there to really make me motivated to get up and get after it. So that's something I need to make note of. But just some other things that I need to focus in on is my relationship with food. One thing is, like, I'm a huge snacker, so I just end up eating a bunch of stuff, and it doesn't necessarily affect me right now because I'm so active. I'm always moving around. I don't need to worry about how it's going to affect my physical appearance, and maybe even also just like my overall health, because if I get enough, carbohydrates and whatever, like it's going to provide me the energy I need. But it also could make you kind of feel groggy to an extent, depending on, what. Anyways, I can't get into the science of it because I don't know food science, but just having a better relationship and be like, okay, here is a serving size. This is what I need to eat. It has all the nutrition that I need. And also just not snacking, like being like, breakfast, okay? Breakfast happens at 8 a.m. Lunch happens at 12 p.m. Dinner happens at 5 p.m., whatever, 8 p.m., whatever time it is, and then not eating after a specific period. So like not eating after 9 p.m. is really what I have set out for myself, because I think part of it is also just like mixing food and entertainment and being like, while I watch this show, I want to be eating something. But the show could be 30 minutes. You don't need to eat for a full 30 minutes unless you're like taking it slow. So it's just developing a better relationship with food and understanding that there's healthy ways to consume things, and also that it's good to kind of mix in maybe a cookie here and there, but not eat like a whole thing of cookies, which I might have done tonight, but who knows, but something I need to improve on for sure, and I'm going to make progress on that in the coming week. And then another thing just sprinkled in there is making more progress on personal business. So really I've decided to full in invest all my time into my personal business, and that's really where my focus is right now. And I'm happy that I've made this commitment to this business, and now it's really about just making the actions and following along with my word and what my plans are. So I have good plans set up, but definitely doing more of the work and being able to day after day, like consistently invest into that business. And then another thing is just to like socialize more. I think right now just being like, I understanding that there's time and place to socialize, there's time and place to network, like being able to do more of those two things, but not necessarily having to push myself or like having to put a negative connotation to anything. I think part of it's just like with that schedule thing being like, okay, if I go socialize and I go out, I'm not going to get home until a certain time, and that messes up my sleep schedule and messes up this. So maybe even just like being able to socialize at a different degree, if that's like being like, okay, getting coffee for a specific time period, and that'll also just help me really appreciate those moments and being like more in the moment during that time. If I'm like, okay, I have 2 hours for coffee on Sunday, like 10 to 12, and really being fully aware at that time and being like, okay, shut off my phone, like here I am with my friend, and really enjoying that moment in time. So this was like a long list of things, but I guess this is just like me being able to put these thoughts out there and to really understand and obviously get to a mental place and a visual place in my mind of where I imagine myself going, and also being able to provide myself with an outline of how to get there. So this is really what this journal is about, and just being open about these various things and not being so rigid to be like, okay, I need to do this, but really working through it to see the different points and the different contact points, just how everything works and how it harmonizes together, and being able to better harmonize and provide more rhythm to my life and more routine. So there's lots to go off of, being that it's ground zero, but every week there will be something to improve on, but there's also going to be cool things to kind of highlight in there. So this is just the first, and these are all one takes, so definitely not going to be always super direct in what the content is or necessarily how it's being translated, but hopefully there is some sort of organization to this. And that's it for this journal entry, but each week definitely going to be doing this by Sunday, and just uploading and getting everything prepared for the following week, and just kind of having some fun with it, because I just today looked back at a journal I did like when was that? Okay, it had to have been like 8 months ago. Sounds a long time ago. When was that? It had to at least been, I think honestly, like 5 to 8 months ago. I did a journal like this, and just like seeing like I had the same exact thoughts I had when I wanted to do this one, but also noticing that the circumstances in my life were so much different at that point. And what I'd mentioned in that was like, I need to get more work. And I've been lucky enough to have gotten so much work recently that I've gotten to the point where I'm saying no to work, and I'm ready to move in the direction that I have wanted to go in for so long, of doing my own thing. And so it's cool to see that progress, be like, okay, oh man, I'm only working like 7 days out of the month, like, and that was bad because obviously I needed that income to be able to provide myself with just to be able to live. And so now I've finally like worked every day during the summer, and just now got to the point where so many people would hit me up, be like, hey, can you work, and just being in a comfortable position to say no, and also putting the pressure on myself, or just backing my word up that I'm going to go in this direction, the direction that I've wanted to go in for so long now, which is doing my own business, being my own boss, dictating my own hours. And that's something that I want to take pride in, and that I want to do to to the highest degree. And so this is just one step in that direction. And there will be so many more steps to follow. So, step 1.